Hey, Melissa. So yeah, so far so good. Let's see what you have here. All your layer masks are intact. I don't know why there's a question mark on this one. That's funny. So yeah, the first thing I kind of do is I look to make sure that your file is the right size. Looks great. And then I just kind of zoom in on, to look at your masks because, you know, you've definitely completed them because, you know, I mean, you're obviously not going to have them perfectly refined the first week, but it's just, you know, to refine them is just something to work towards. So yeah, you're probably going to want to refine some of, you know, just the edges a little bit, which is, you know, that one looks great. Well, that's kind of a hairy bean, huh? Your images are nice, good quality too, which really helps. So this looks pretty good too. And obviously, if you know you're masking out a complicated background, it's a lot harder. So yeah, it looks pretty good. So just a couple suggestions. Oh, whoops! I didn't know I was on that one. On the chopsticks, you might want to have the chopstick. And again, this is just these are just visual things. Just, you know, because I really, my goal is that you have a strong portfolio piece. So it might look kind of interesting if you have one of these chopsticks coming through and coming out here. And you know, the way you do that is you just you know, take the part, you know the let's see if I can look at it. You know, the end of it off, and then you know, you just copy it to another layer, and then you just put it on top. So, you know, whatever on top is in front, basically. So just a couple other nitpicky things. You might want to cut this off so it looks like it's even attached a little bit more to the bowl. And, you know, you don't have to do all of this stuff right away. I did want to show you a really nice little piece of refinement in this one. You know, you might want to do something. See the little bit of shading that he did right here? That looks really cool. Again, you might want to use some perspective on one of the legs too and make it smaller. And just doing that creates depth. It looks like that one's the smaller one. So let me see if I can find it here. Nope, not that one. That one, and then where's the sushi part? Oh, that's the egg. If you select both of those layers, then you can do the free transform on both of them. It doesn't want to work for some reason. There it goes. So then it's going to look like it's smaller. You know, it's going to look like it's in the background more. So even just a little bit of something like that, kind of, oh, it's got a smart object. Yeah, I can't do much when there's smart objects. So, I mean, I could just rasterize that. Even though it's kind of not, there's a problem with the image for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, it's looking to link it. Okay. Oh, I can see why now. Another thing I like to do too is don't forget your text too. I think you're supposed to have real simple text for this one. If you select all of your objects and then let me show you, and you click this folder down here, it's going to put them all in one group. So then you can really move them around. So for example, like, you know, if I wanted to make the whole thing smaller, because you're going to be creating a background and so on, then you can work with the whole, you know, the whole thing, making it. Oh, I can't do anything because of the smart objects. But anyway, you get the idea if you put them in groups. That's really annoying. No, it's just these smart objects. Okay, I rasterize them. But then again, I just wanted to show you with the... So, I mean, just a little bit like that, even, you know, kind of makes it look like it's moving a little bit. Everybody wants to do that head-on one-point perspective, and it's just not always the best solution. Even, you know, just play with them, you know, like, you know, maybe you want to Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't like it like that, but I'm going to move it back. I think it looks like it has more personality when it's there both. You know, again, you can, you know, and obviously we have like 3 more weeks, so. Anyway, so it really is about, and you know, you can also move the sushi in relation to the thing. So now I can move make the whole thing smaller. So another thing to start thinking about too is the typography and the background too, if you want. But so these ones I've been showing you are all, you know, they're all finals, and you can kind of see how they chose a background, and then they fit the text into the negative space. And I love that this is from a side view. So what you could do too now is start to look at DaFont, and you know, you can really look at these, you know, these different fonts and find one. I mean, here's like I mean, that's kind of an these Asian kind of calligraphy fonts. Oh, I like that one. Just be sure not to go overboard and make them look too, you know, you really want it to be legible. And, you know, any of them, I mean, this has 22, you know, these have like 8 pages. There's tons of, you know, some of these are going to be hard to read, but again, 24 pages. Oh, these are wingdings that actually are kind of cool too. So anyway, it's just something to think about. And, you know, 62 pages of these fonts. They're really easy to download. And just, you know, just like this one was made a little bit bigger, then you'd want to probably make one of the noodles a little bit smaller. And the egg already looks kind of bigger, but again, you can really push the perspective part of it. You know, there is something called perspective transformation. Then I won't bore you to death. If you go to transform and then go to perspective, and then if you want to make this bigger, you just make it. And again, if you want to make this smaller, no, I don't like the way it's kind of looking like it's distorting it. But anyway, they're just some things to play with. I think that the bowl, since it's round, it's going to be fine if you just scaled, you know, some of these other objects. And I think it's going to really, you know, I mean, I think it'll be fine. So next week I'll go over more about how to make certain things stand out more. So basically for next week, we are going to be working with text. Yeah, so next week is background, and again, you know, the more you develop, the more feedback I can give you. And again, when you're choosing a background, have a look at that Google image search thing I did, but really just think of negative space, because if it's too complicated, you're not going to be able to see. This is almost too complicated. But the idea is to really have the caricature stand out from the background. That's really the most important thing, and the text too. So, okay, so anyway, you might want to add the text before putting it in the Dropbox this week so you don't lose any extra points. Anyway, I hope I didn't babble on too long, but it's looking good. It's looking really fun. So, yeah, keep up the good work.